It was in this area in the early hours of the 2nd of March 2024 that Jack O'Sullivan went missing. He was trying to get home after a night out. Jack was training to be a lawyer. He'd been at a house party with friends from his course. He left the party and was spotted on CCTV several times in the area trying to get a taxi home. But after a last sighting at 20 to 4 in the morning, nothing. A location app on Jack's phone showed it was later on Granby Hill on the way up to Clifton Village where his brother lived. But despite this, in the days and weeks after he went missing, the assumption was made by the police and others that Jack had fallen into the water. But as time went on and no trace of him whatsoever was found, lots of people started to question that assumption. And now a leading expert in the waterways of Bristol says he thinks the chance of that having happened is zero. Mike Ferguson knows this area like the back of his hand. For 8 years, he was the Deputy Harbour Master. Over the past 2 years, he spent hundreds of hours writing several independent reports exploring numerous scenarios about what might have happened to Jack. But his conclusion is always the same.
If a body does go into the River Avon due to the currents, everybody thinks currents are a straight line thing. They're not. Currents swirl, they move around, they go around little promontories. Anything being washed in or out tends to get caught in what they say is catch bump points. And these are 7 well-known points between Avonmouth and Hallam. I think everybody that we've ever found that hasn't been floating or hasn't been under the water has been found in one of these catchment points. Nobody on record has ever been washed out to sea.
What is the likelihood, in your expert opinion, of Jack having gone into the water somewhere here on the 2nd of March?
If I'm being honest, no. No, none whatsoever. Jack couldn't have been in the water. It really is that simple. They would have found him. At the family home just a few miles up the road for Jack's mum, Catherine, the nightmare continues.
My life is completely on hold. It doesn't move forward. It's a very awful place to be. We do our best. Because anything else for us would be giving up on Jack, and we're not prepared to do that.
The former Harbour Master's report, though, has given the O'Sullivan family a new focus.
The narrative was set very early on by the police, in our opinion, and the attention is always based around the harbour. But when you have a piece of information that categorically tells you that's not possible, then that's really important for people to understand.
We asked Avon and Somerset Police whether their working theory was still that Jack had fallen in the water or whether they accepted the findings of Mike Ferguson's report. They told us that detectives from their investigative team have reviewed all submissions from third parties and have commissioned independent reports from nationally accredited experts with the information being fed into their inquiries. And added they have kept an open mind throughout the investigation and have been led by evidence, and that Jack entering the water is among the scenarios they have considered. And yet, 28 months on, still no Jack and still more questions than answers, the most important of which is simply, if he didn't fall into the water that night, what did happen and where is he? Laura Jones, BBC Points West in Bristol.